To truly appreciate Thomas Cochrane as either a naval legend or a lunatic, we must first set the context of his life and times. Thomas Cochrane, the 10th Earl of Dundonald, was a British naval officer known for his audacious strategies and charismatic leadership during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. He is often celebrated as one of Britain's greatest maritime tacticians for his daring exploits during the Napoleonic Wars. Setting the context is crucial to understand whether he should be seen through the lens of admiration or skepticism. His life narrative is not only significant historically, but also provides insights into the thin line between genius and eccentricity. One compelling example of Cochrane's naval prowess is his success at the Battle of Basque Roads in 1809, where he used innovative tactics to break a French fleet blockade, though later entanglements with political maneuverings led to disputes over his recognition for this victory. Another prominent instance is his service to the Chilean, Brazilian, and Greek navies, showcasing how his strategic mind transcended national boundaries, contributing significantly to the fight for liberation in these nations. These actions reinforce the idea that Cochrane was a naval legend, celebrated for his mind and maritime impact. Supporting opinions hail Cochrane as a visionary leader who laid the groundwork for modern naval warfare with his unconventional tactics. Admiral Lord Nelson, recognizing Cochrane's potential, was among those who anticipated his greatness. Critics, however, often focused on the perceived recklessness and the borderline insubordination that marked his career. The controversy surrounding his conviction for stock market fraud in 1814 further blurred the lines between his legend and lunacy, questioning whether his boldness was matched by poor judgment in personal affairs. Challenges to his legacy tend to revolve around these legal and personal controversies, as well as his explosive temper and ambition, which sometimes alienated allies. These elements are crucial for understanding the multifaceted nature of his character and its impact on his career. This dichotomy of perception, legend, or lunatic is central to evaluating Cochrane's influence on naval history. It prompts broader discussions of how brilliance can often coexist with folly, shaping both public myth and recorded history. Thus, setting the context here richly informs the narrative of Cochrane's life, inviting audiences to ponder how his complex persona continues to resonate within naval lore and beyond. The heading Early Naval Career, Foundation of a Legend, introduces the pivotal phase of Thomas Cochrane's storied life that set the stage for his reputation as either a naval legend or a contentious figure. Cochrane, often known as the Sea Wolf, began his naval career in the late 18th century, swiftly rising through the ranks due to his exceptional strategic prowess and audacious tactics. His early career laid the groundwork for his remarkable exploits, which are both revered for their brilliance and criticized for their recklessness. Cochrane's early naval career is significant, as it cemented his reputation as a daring and unorthodox leader. His commanding of the HMS Speedy is emblematic of this period. With just 14 guns at his disposal, Cochrane captured or destroyed numerous enemy vessels, showcasing his extraordinary tactical ingenuity. This success demonstrated his ability to leverage limited resources against formidable opponents, enhancing the Royal Navy's effectiveness during the Napoleonic Wars. Another example is his charismatic leadership and the crew's profound loyalty, which played a crucial role in his various naval victories. Cochrane's innovative tactics and indomitable spirit not only endeared him to his men, but also left an indelible mark on naval warfare. Supporters of Cochrane regard these early exploits as a testament to his genius, portraying him as a naval hero whose contributions significantly impacted maritime history. However, his career was not without controversy. His audacious strategies, while groundbreaking, often brushed against conventional naval doctrines, leading to criticisms of recklessness. Moreover, Cochrane's outspoken disdain for naval bureaucracy and corruption in the Admiralty brought him into direct conflict with powerful figures, complicating his legacy. Despite these challenges, Cochrane's early career established key themes that resonate throughout his life. His tendency to challenge authority and push boundaries influenced later actions, such as his involvement in the infamous Great Stock Exchange fraud of 1814, which tarnished his public image. His career also exemplifies the fine line between genius and foolhardiness, a discussion point that permeates evaluations of his legacy. Understanding this foundational phase is crucial for comprehending how Cochrane evolved into both a celebrated legend and a polarizing figure, influencing debates over his character and contributions to naval history. Ultimately, Cochrane's early career serves as a microcosm of the attributes and controversies that define his life, bridging his illustrious victories with his later contentious endeavors. Revolutionary tactics and innovations at sea refer to the unconventional and advanced strategies implemented by Thomas Cochrane that fundamentally changed naval warfare during the early 19th century. Cochrane, a daring and brilliant officer in the British Navy, was known for his ability to think outside traditional maritime tactics, leveraging his knowledge and creativity to outmaneuver and outsmart opponents. The significance of these innovations is profound, as they highlight Cochrane's pivotal role in redefining naval combat, showcasing his genius that often bordered on eccentricity. One illustrative example of Cochrane's innovative tactics was his use of the fireships at the Battle of Basque Roads in 1809. By audaciously deploying vessels filled with explosives and incendiary materials, he was able to instigate chaos within the anchored French fleet, leading to a decisive victory for the British. His strategic use of such fireships demonstrated both his fearlessness and his understanding of psychological warfare, striking dread into the hearts of his adversaries. Another example is his development and use of the false flags tactic, where he would sail under an enemy's flag to avoid suspicion and gain a strategic advantage until the last possible moment. This clever ruse, while controversial, allowed him to close in on unsuspecting enemy vessels, demonstrating his cunning and adaptability. Supporters of Cochrane argue that his groundbreaking ideas and actions significantly advanced maritime strategy and continue to influence naval tactics today. His ability to shift the paradigm of naval engagements emphasized the importance of flexibility and creativity in military leadership. However, his methods were not without controversy. There were ethical concerns regarding the use of deceptive tactics like the false flag, sparking debates about their acceptability within the code of naval warfare. Additionally, his radical ideas often put him at odds with traditionalists in the British Navy, contributing to a reputation that oscillated between admired hero and reckless maverick. These revolutionary tactics and innovations connect deeply with Cochrane's legacy as both a naval legend and an enigmatic figure. His approaches not only underscore his genius, but also reflect the broader tension between tradition and innovation within military history. Cochrane's story serves as a reminder of the thin line between brilliance and madness, illustrating how transformative ideas often arise from those willing to challenge the status quo. By redefining naval warfare, Cochrane cemented his place in history as a pioneer who was fearless in his pursuit of victory, regardless of the conventions he disrupted. Thomas Cochrane, a highly captivating yet polarizing figure in naval history, is often described as a lunatic due to his controversial acts throughout his career. This label, while pejorative, captures the audacity and unconventional methodologies Cochrane employed, which defied the norms of his time and challenged the rigidity of traditional naval strategy. The significance of this point is that it encapsulates the essence of Cochrane's legacy, a man whose boundary-pushing tactics led to both remarkable triumphs and equally notable downfalls, making his life a subject of debate between genius and madness. One of the most striking examples of his controversial acts is the Basque Roads incident in 1809. Cochrane advocated for an innovative attack using fire ships to penetrate French defenses, an idea deemed reckless by his superiors. Despite initial resistance, his tactic led to a significant British victory. Although the aftermath saw him embroiled in disputes with his commanding officers, illustrating his penchant for challenging authority and naval conventions. Another example is Cochrane's involvement in the Great Stock Exchange fraud of 1814. His alleged participation in disseminating false information to manipulate the stock market resulted in a scandal that damaged his reputation and saw him expelled from the Royal Navy. Though later pardoned, this episode further fueled perceptions of his recklessness and provided fodder for those labeling him a lunatic. Opinions supporting Cochrane's unorthodox behavior often highlight his visionary approach to warfare and innovation, arguing that his decisions, though unconventional, were rooted in a deep understanding of naval warfare dynamics. Critics, however, often focus on his perceived recklessness and inability to adhere to authority, suggesting these traits undermined his potential and complicated his legacy. Challenges to the concept of Cochrane as a lunatic often point to the bias of historical narratives shaped by his detractors, questioning whether perceptions of lunacy overshadowed his contributions. Furthermore, his actions can be reconceptualized as those of a visionary ahead of his time, rather than a madman. His tactics have influenced modern naval strategies. This controversy around Cochrane's reputation directly connects to broader themes in his life story, such as his enduring impact on naval warfare, his contentious relationships with authority, and his ongoing relevance as an enigmatic figure in military history. Whether seen as a legend or a lunatic, Cochrane's life invites a re-evaluation of what it means to push boundaries and challenge the status quo, offering rich insights into the complexities of leadership and innovation.